Yay! We're getting nervous. Come on up there.
Who's the other person?
Yeah, I had to come outside. Couldn't talk up in there because, as you see, it was a lot of. And to be fair and balanced, that was up in there was all Ukrainians and all East Indians, but they're here to replace and take the job. And it's a game that's been played on us plenty of times, to where you end up out and about and they get all the benefits because they don't want to deal with the unions. And I'm not saying like the unions are perfect, because all it is to where I can look at you and say that, okay, feeble-minded, regardless of what you've been through. I go look at somebody else and say, okay, you're more credible. It's just all eugenics. You can't get around that. It's like something that you can't escape because you're not addressing no issue. Jussie Smollett did what he did, and he basically got away with it, as far as to a certain degree. As long as he blames somebody and not take responsibility for his own actions, it's okay. But nobody come out here, then when you leave the earth, you ain't leaving with nothing. So either way it goes, it's a stepping stone. And, we got to learn how to be human, and we got to learn how to think as far as...
Can I get a light from you, brother?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right.
Thank
Respect
you.
to take you a long way.
Yes, sir. Salutation before a greeting, or before a salutation.
There you go.
I understand. Thank you.
But the idea of it is that we just got to learn how to be human, how to communicate, how to be adults, how to learn how to talk to each other. Because if you learn how to talk to each other, half of the conflicts you in, you won't be. And if you go on a job or whatever, and you thinking that, this is like a college dorm where we just gonna hang out, you have the wrong idea. Oh, look at that baby there. It's a 57. Hard top, 2 doors. But, you can learn how to avoid unnecessary drama by basically having respect for yourself and having respect for the next person. If you want to walk around and say, okay, I'm a king because I'm this or that, all right, oh well. But you got to share the road with a whole bunch of other people. It's like you just have to share the road. And if we live in a society where you have all kind of different diversity and what have not, then that should at least over there. that should at least let you know that there's more ways to say hello. There's more ways to, just learn how to being human and food and culture and stuff like that. Things that really touch individuals. But rather than going that angle, we go in an angle of control, eugenics. I'm better than you. I got more money than you. I see some of these rappers, they right about now they getting paid, and hey, I mean, if you getting it, you getting it. But at the same time, you got to have balance. You run around here talking about all the little different jewelry and stuff like that, but then when your fans, quote unquote, as if you care about your fan base, they try to mimic your lifestyle just like we tried to mimic wrestlers and all of this other stuff, and it didn't come out right. You know, some of you artists, y'all really need to really just look at yourself. I'd rather be in this position than being in a position where I'm running around flossing, and at the same time, after you floss, what can you go? Because every time you go somewhere, somebody looking to set you up. Every time. They'll set you up if you're in my position. So let alone you got a couple grand on your wrist and a couple grand on your hand, man, you'll get your hands cut off. I done seen somebody actually cut somebody's hand off and run with their hand down the street. So, I mean, if you're going to make that your MO, when you could have took the currency that you had and you could have maybe opened up a little temp service, hey man, I'm going to put you guys to work so y'all could, have a little scholarship program. Hey, if you get straight A's, I'm going to give you $20 on every A or whatever. I mean, there's different things that could be done to where at least when you do come through and you coming through flossing or whatever, individuals have respect for you. And I done seen that happen. But nowadays, you're flossing money, you're walking around with $20,000, $30,000, and you don't think somebody gonna take that chance? It's too much temptation. And then, I mean, it's all kind of little things I could get into. But the idea of it is that learn to be yourself. Regardless of what it is, learn to be yourself. It's character that makes us. It's not our image. And believe you me, I was an image chaser for the longest. I thought I was perfect. I thought this, I thought that. Because I went off of what I thought was best. And you got to have somebody to pull your coat and say, hey man, let me challenge your ideas in critical thinking. And that's the main thing that's missing. You got individuals hanging around the school videotaping some youngsters fight. When I was coming up, if you was the oldest and you watching youngsters fight or whatever, you end up getting in trouble. It wasn't we gonna watch these youngsters fight, or I'm gonna be my age and the only thing I'm gonna do is hang with youngsters. I don't hang with nobody that's like, man, look, I wouldn't dare hang around with nobody that's old enough to be my son. Not on no social level. We got to talk about something, that's one thing, but as far as just hanging out, nah. Because that teaches the wrong thing. That makes them think that you could go from age group to age group and just do whatever, and that's not the case. Just like if they have individuals that's much older than me, and they're looking at me like, oh, well, I'll talk with you and chit-chat, but at the same time, there's rules to it. There's only so far you could go. And that's the thing that we're missing. Like, we're in a perverted nation at perverted times, and it's just, man, it's horrible. And a lot of times it's based on eugenics, because if you can demoralize somebody, you can eliminate them. And when you look at all the little fights that they show on YouTube, if there's a conversation, it goes from you did this, you did that, to I'm gonna shame you. And then after the shaming, then we tussle. Then after the tussle, it goes a little bit further. And that's not being addressed on a larger scale. You know, y'all blessed, you know, this an influence with and I'm gonna shut my mouth.